Hello, Mia Lee Vicino, and welcome to Turner Classic Movies. We're so happy you're here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You are helping us kick off a special night that we're calling New Voices of Film. All night long, I'm going to be joined by young content creators who share a love of classic movies like we all do at TCM. You are the West Coast editor of Letterboxd, which is described as the social network for film lovers. I'm sure a lot of people who watch TCM also know about Letterboxd, but for those who don't, how would you describe it?
It's an online platform for film lovers, as we say, and you can log films, you can review or give them star ratings if you are so inclined, and you can also see what your friends are watching. So it's a great way to discover both classic and contemporary cinema.
And someone that we love here at TCM, Martin Scorsese, is on Letterboxd and
That's
often
right.
suggests and recommends and reviews films too, right?
Yes, we have Martin Scorsese, we have Michael Mann now, yes. It's very exciting to be gathering all of these great filmmakers.
There's also something really cool that people might be familiar with that you all do, which is called Four Favorites. And it's a series of very short videos, often done by you. And if you encounter someone on a red carpet or at an event, you'll corner them and ask them to name on the spot their four favorite movies. How much fun are those videos to put together?
Oh, it's absolutely a dream job to get to do four faves, because that is the question that I'm asking people in general, just in my personal life, are just, what are your favorite movies? It's my favorite question to ask, and to get to ask these of these actors and filmmakers that I admire so much is just an absolute dream come true.
Well, let's talk about the movie that you've selected for us to watch. It's a pre-code gem from 1932, Merrily We Go to Hell, directed by Dorothy Arzner and starring Fredric March and Sylvia Sidney. Why do you like this movie so much?
I adore this film so much because, one, women, adapted from a book written by Cleo Lucas, who was just 24 when she wrote this. And Dorothy did such an incredible job adapting it for the screen. And Dorothy herself was just such an incredible pioneer, not just for women filmmakers, but for filmmakers in general. So I'm just so happy to get to champion her work. And then on the other hand, we have a man, the man, some may say, Cary Grant, in a very early role of his. And you can tell he's a star right away by his beautiful, his hair, his beautiful luscious eyelashes. Like, that is a star in the making.
You can tell this was one of his first films. He's ninth billed. He basically has one big scene, but the movie is about this relationship between a struggling alcoholic reporter who wants to be a playwright, Fredric March, and his new heiress love interest played by Sylvia Sidney. And it's such an interesting relationship between the two of them. I mean, the Sylvia Sidney character is basically the most patient woman on earth, while this guy that she's in love with just cannot get it together. What do you find interesting about the relationship?
Oh, I think it's such an interesting encapsulation of the modern marriage or the modern woman. I think it's so ahead of its time as well, considering it came out in 1932. Like, it's the year before the Hays Code was about to be enforced, so they can get away with a little more edgy things, such as titling it Merrily We Go to Hell,
Right.
And then diving into the alcoholism of the main character. And they also dive into polyamory, which is really, really interesting in 1932 to get into. And we can talk more about that during the outro, of course.
For sure. Yeah, as you mentioned, it's directed by Dorothy Arzner, who was really a pioneering filmmaker. I'm noticing your shirt, which is written and directed by Elaine May. Obviously, female filmmakers are near and dear to your heart, and Dorothy Arzner ranks up there with the best of them. What do you like so much about her?
As we said, she was such a pioneer. I also really, really love how she was an out lesbian with a partner who was a choreographer. So I just admire her go-get-'em attitude so much. I also learned about how she wanted to be a director after she saw Cecil B. DeMille directing, and he would put out his hand and somebody would put a script in it or a megaphone, and she said, I want to do that. If you're a director, people listen to you and you can tell them what to do, and I have to do that. And that is just a go-get-'em attitude that I don't necessarily have yet, but I aspire to have. So I just really, really, really look up to her for that reason. I also feel her work is a little bit more underseen than I would like it to be. On Letterboxd, this film has fewer than 10,000 watches. I'd love to bump those numbers up a little bit.
I think you're doing it tonight.
Yes.
I do agree with you. I love this exploration of the modern wife. And what's that great line? It's single lives, twin beds, and triple bromides in the morning. I mean, I love that. And I think the fact that we have a female director here adds to the excitement of a line like that. What's your feeling on what Dorothy Arzner brings to the picture here?
Oh, well, she brings so much empathy to this picture because, as we were kind of discussing before, the main character played by Sylvia Sidney, you kind of just want to yell at her sometimes, like, girl, get up. Like, you don't have to do this. Like, why do you like him so much? And it really reminds me of more contemporary films like Joanna Hogg's The Souvenir, and also just every iteration of A Star is Born, where you're like, so frustrated by this woman, but you also understand why she's making these decisions and you understand why she loves this guy. And I think that's a testament to Arzner's empathetic direction and these brilliant characters as well, who were originally written by Cleo.
Let's talk about Cary Grant, because when he comes in, you're right. It's nothing against Frederick March. He's great. But when Cary Grant appears as the other guy, you just know that a star has entered the picture.
Oh, it's so thrilling to see him because I'm a huge Cary Grant fan. So to get to see a pre-star Cary Grant is so, so, so special. And as we were both saying, he just fully lights up the room.
Yeah.
And you know that he is going to be big, and he was and is
Yeah.
forever.
So in your job at Letterboxd, I can only imagine how many pinch me moments you've had. You've interviewed Scorsese, you've interviewed Greta Gerwig about all of the classic films that inspired her version of Barbie. What are some experiences that stand out as highlights to you?
Oh, well, you just mentioned them. Greta Gerwig and Martin Scorsese. I could not believe how lucky I was to get to talk to both of those greats. They're two of my favorite filmmakers. And to get to have so much time with them and to go in depth about the films that helped make them. Like, for example, Marty was calling all of these films companion films, and I'd never really heard that before. Like the idea of films that inspire your work being companion films to your work. I hope this is answering your question.
Yeah.
But that was so exciting to me to get to see how this brilliant filmmaker, how his mind works. So Martin Scorsese, I gotta go with him. Come on.
How would you say your passion for classic films began in the first place?
So growing up, I honestly didn't really watch a lot of classic films. They just weren't part of my cinematic diet. But then when I discovered Letterboxd, it helped me to also discover cinema. And through that, I started majoring in cinema studies. I started taking film history classes, and I started falling in love. Yeah, honestly, Letterboxd has been an incredible tool for cinephilia, really.
I'm sure. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here, Mia. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor, a privilege, a dream come true to be here.
Great.